Common dineouts like this often see customers of all kinds. So, this one-time experience kind of terrorized me for life. I worked at the counter as a cashier, so I had to deal with the customers directly. One night, I was sitting behind the counter and counting the cash at the end of the day when I heard the entrance door fly open. Two boys came inside. One had red hair and a pale complexion, while the other had a bun tied with dirty long hairs dangling from his oily head. They were about 15 or 16 years old. Both of them had a very unclean presence. Their clothes seemed like they hadn't been washed in a long time. I could see dirt in their fingernails. A bad odor took over as soon as they approached the counter. A bucket of fried chicken, please. The red-haired boy said in a cold voice while raising a $20 note at me. The boy with the bun wore a dirty sweatshirt, even on that hot summer night. As they stood there like two fishy customers that I would never want to meet at the end of my late-night shift, I realized troubles are waiting for me. I told them to take a seat and went inside to tell Ralph about our last order. Ralph was the night cook who joined recently. While giving him the orders, I told him how sketchy those boys looked to me. Ralph laughed and said, "I'm sure they won't be any petty thieves, Lucy. You go keep an eye on them. I will be there with the fried chicken soon." I went back and saw those two boys were wandering around the restaurant like they were walking in their homes. The red-haired boy was observing each detail of the shop. I even saw him noticing the security camera too attentively. With their behavior, I could tell they had some other intention. After wandering around for some time, they sat at a table nearby and started to talk in a low but deep voice. I could hear their full conversation, but I heard them addressing each other by the name of Jackson and Liam. The red-haired boy was Jackson and the other one was Liam. So far, I didn't hear Liam say a single word to me. He was the quieter one and also the most mysterious among the two. He had lots of cut marks on his face and every 5 seconds looking at me in a very creepy way. I even saw him licking his lips while he laid his eyes on me. The cold stare and their inaudible whispers were making me even more anxious. Suddenly, Liam got up and went out of the restaurant. I wanted to ignore it, as this was none of my business, but I still asked, where did your friend go?" Jackson smiled and said, "To take a leak. How long will it take?" I smiled awkwardly and said, Not much. Our cook will bring the food soon. You guys are our last customers for the night, hence, it's taking time to arrange everything before closing the shop." After a few minutes, Liam came back and sat beside his friend, just like before. I waited and waited for Ralph to come out, but time went away. My level of patience gave in, and I got up and walked to the kitchen. The minute I stepped inside the kitchen, the electricity went out. It wasn't a power cut, as I could see the streetlight on the highway shining bright. Someone purposefully turned off the power switch. I checked into my pockets and took out my phone. While trying to turn on the flashlight on my phone, I took a step further in the dark and stepped onto a gooey liquid that had a weird metallic stench. "Damn it, Ralph! Didn't you clean the kitchen?" I screamed in the dark. I switched on my flashlight, and as it hit the floor, I saw what I just stepped in. There was a pool of blood on the kitchen floor that came from a deep stab wound on the body of our night cook, Ralph. Oh my God. I turned around to leave when I got face to face with Jackson. He stood there with a blood-soaked knife in his hand and smiled at me. I remembered there's a back door, so I turned around to escape from there. I was a few inches away from the back door when Liam entered the kitchen. So this is what he did when he went outside. My God. He entered the kitchen from the back door and stabbed poor Ralph to death. These young boys are cold-blooded criminals. They cornered me from both ends, and I knew now it would be my turn to get slashed at their hands. What do you want?" I said in a terrified voice. "Look, Liam, she's willing to give us what we want," Jackson said while laughing like a psycho. "Let's go to the counter," he said and raised the sharp bloody knife at me. I tried to be calm because one wrong move can silence me forever. They escorted me back to the eating area, and when we reached near the counter, Liam pushed me from behind. I tripped accidentally and hit my head on the marble desk. Blood rushed down immediately, and I started crying in pain. Just tell me what you guys want. Please, just let me go. Yes. We don't want to murder a poor, weak woman. It doesn't worth anyway. We just want the money from the cash register. That's all. You guys are doing this for some money? There's still time. You two are too young to destroy your life like this. Do you have any idea what the cops will do to you if they ever catch you?
What was that?
Ask privately with Duck.ai. Visit Duck.ai to chat privately with ChatGPT, Claude, and other AIs for free, all in one place. Duck.ai is from DuckDuckGo, where AI is private and optional.
Every day happens, and when it does, call the accident.
Nobody don't want to know about that. I don't want to say it on
I saw
here.
Liam's face turn pale. For the first time, he looked scared.
I don't want to say
He said
it.
in a fumbling voice, maybe
What she
we
just
should
said.
just leave Texas. I don't want to go to prison.
Talking about hate.
Don't stick it out now.
I don't want to say it on here because I might get bad quick.
Off his car. He slapped me hard across my
No
head.
one knows.
Said, just give us the money. We don't need your explanation. Jackson gave the knife to me, snatching my phone from my hand. Now go to the cash register. Go! Last light on my phone was almost 45 minutes now. I immediately turned off the power so that the security failed to go in. But I didn't want them to go so easily. An idea
Because I moved. I was testing
I
it.
stopped and
Why you moved from
the cash
that thing?
register is
Why how you
I need to
I
access
don't know how she texting me anyway.
I hope you're not trying to be smart with me.
I removed the
Because
phone.
I'll cut your throat and
I
stand up
removed
your
it.
face inside that hot fryer in the kitchen. I made them understand that they whispered to me and Liam went inside the kitchen to turn on the power. As soon as the power came on, Jack said, turn off the security camera. I know you can do that from your computer. Do it! Now! I could have easily faked that and let their entire action get recorded by the camera. But I actually did because my plan was more simple. I opened the cash register and loaded the money inside of it. As Jackson came close to the value, I grabbed his head and slammed him hard on the desk. The sudden strike hit him so hard that he didn't even get the chance to scream. Half of his face got smashed and flesh and blood poured out. I took my phone from his hand, but didn't call 911. Liam walked into the kitchen and got shot and realized people didn't turn. He ran towards the exit at full speed and I was ready
Put it
to
in this.
He was
Mix it up.
wait
So,
as he had to walk past the counter to reach
like I did before.
that house. I had already
What was
taken
that?
them from the
What
kitchen,
was that? What
but
was
these
that?
two
Who the hell?
dumb boys were hacking in the
Who
dark.
else for help?
He screamed in burning pain and fell on the floor. I ran at him and snatched the knife from his hand. I stabbed him both to death. I closed the store, cleaned all the mess, and wrapped their bodies in garbage bags. There's an incinerator in the basement to burn the
Who
waste.
that for?
I called
Who that for
911 now
help?
and hid their bodies inside the incinerator. The cops came and took my account on a robbery done by two mad young boys. The security camera had the footage of them entering and wandering inside the restaurant in the very beginning. The cops identified them as two thugs who had past records of burglary and other crimes. The story flashed in the morning as two boys murdered the night and tortured a lady in
So,
KFC.
I'm making me some pie.
And ran away. I
I'm
was back
hungry,
the
bro.
next day. Their bodies.
Making me some pie. I'm about to mix it up with onions back. I can't eat it like that. I want to make the mess ready on the floor. I eat it like that. I'm going to be putting these all with it and putting something top.
More victims when in reality, I got away with murder.
Hey guys, I see many of you commenting on my videos that this channel deserves 1 million subscribers. But I also see the percent of people who watch my videos aren't actually subscribed to the channel. So, if you like the content, want to support my channel, and want to see this channel reach 1 million subscribers, or maybe 500,000 subscribers, then go ahead, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. It's free, and you can always change your mind later.
What was that? What was what?
I used to work part-time at a
Who here
KFC.
there for help? Who?
I was a broken
Who
college
here?
student and
Who
needed
here
a way
there
to
for
make
help?
some pocket
Who?
money. The
Who
pay
here
was
there for
alright
help?
for the hours I worked,
Testing me.
but I worked
You
the
testing
closing
me.
shift, so I was able to take home any
Right,
leftovers from the shop to save some money. For all the fuss KFC puts up about their secret 11 herbs and spices, actually, making the chicken takes shockingly little skill. You
I'm just gonna miss
batter
it.
a bunch of chicken parts in flour and spice mix and dunk it in an oil
I'm just
fryer
gonna
for a
miss it.
while. If it's undercooked when you take it out, put it back in for a few minutes. If it's overcooked, serve it anyway. It's not like anyone will complain about the quality of the food. They're already willing to eat it at
I'm a
KFC.
cooker.
I never questioned what was inside the spice mix that went
So
into the
crappy,
chicken I
what's
served
wrong?
people every day.
Cooker.
I didn't even like the way it tasted all that much.
You're a
It was good for about the first week of me working there. But after having KFC for dinner every night for the sake of saving money, I started to get sick of it. Still, I kept eating it because, hey, free food is still free food.
What the
One day, I went to work as usual, fried a bunch of chicken for a bunch of people who were either regulars or just passing through, and split whatever was left with the other employees to take home. By the time I got home, the grease from the chicken had pooled onto the bottom of the cardboard box I used to carry it, and the once crispy batter had grown soggy during the long car ride. I entered my apartment and sat in front of the TV to eat the KFC chicken I brought back home with me. But I noticed something strange when I took the first bite. Now, I've eaten KFC's fried chicken more
Right.
times
Me
than
too.
I care to remember since I started working for them. I knew the taste of KFC like the back of my hand, whether I liked it or not. And this was not what normal KFC chicken tasted like. There was an odd, almost flowery sweetness to it that I didn't recognize, and a slightly bitter aftertaste that left my tongue feeling a bit numb. It wasn't bad by any means, just strange. I'm sure that someone who hasn't eaten it almost every day like I had probably wouldn't have noticed the change in flavor. I assumed the flour or spice mix for the last batch must have been a few days past its expiration date, and decided it'd be best if I didn't finish the chicken. I tossed the rest of the chicken out of my apartment window into the alley below for a lucky stray dog to come and eat it.
When people hear the words print on demand, they picture a graphic slapped onto a basic tee. But that's not necessarily how you build a brand. In fact, this is print on demand too. I didn't buy in the inventory, I didn't print this myself, but it's not what people picture when they hear print on demand. The problem with more traditional print on demand suppliers is it is graphic design forward, and people are more putting all their designs on blank shirts. So typically everyone is selling the exact same t-shirt and differentiating themselves using their graphic design. Versus with this platform, it is apparel first. So you're actually not going to find the same Gildan t-shirts, the same Gildan sweatshirts, the same product that you can find from every single print-on-demand supplier. This has its own unique catalog of premium clothing for an amazing price. If we just go to t-shirts, start looking through all of these, and you're going to notice that these are very different. We have a snow-washed, oversized cotton shirt. We have soccer jerseys. We have different ones here with different types of styles, and this is just t-shirts, and there are pages and pages of these. But one thing I really want to highlight, the pricing. For premium, high-quality apparel, you would think, oh, that's going to come with premium prices. This boxy shirt here starts at $9.70. This one at $4.57. This one at $2.99. Like, those are unmatchable prices, honestly. And it's not like fake out pricing. It actually gets cheaper if you have a group product. Still bringing this to only $11.95. And so the total fulfillment time is only 4 to 7 days. It can link up to your Etsy, to your Shopify, to wherever you sell your products. You create a design on this apparel and they will print and ship it for you. There is no minimum order quantities. It's very, very cheap pricing. You don't have to buy things in bulk. TapStitch will handle all the printing, all of the shipping, all of the fulfilling. So all you have to do is create designs, do customer service, and then collect the difference. That is the gap that TapStitch fills. So if this video called to you, this idea resonates with you, then go to my description below to get access to TapStitch and then start going through their catalog, and I guarantee it's going to spark so many different ideas when you see the full catalog of what's available on there.
Okay, Fuzz. We need the vegan meal.
The next night at work, one of my coworkers, let's call him Jerry, chatted
You
with
get
me
back
about
here,
the
man.
strange taste of chicken as we were working the fryers to make more of the stuff.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Sally, is it just me,
And it's
or did
going
the
to
chicken
mess it
last
up.
night taste a little off to you? I know what you mean. I couldn't bring myself to finish it. Was the spice expired or something? No, I checked the expiration date on the new spices that came in last night. They probably changed the formula without telling anyone to save on cost. It probably doesn't taste all too different to people who don't eat it every day like we do. Yeah, to be honest, I think all of us have been eating way too much fried chicken since we started working here. I think you're right. There's more grease than blood in my veins at this point. How about we grab some actual food after work? I hear there's a noodle shop nearby that stays open really late. Jerry must have been the smoothest guy on the face of the planet. Because I didn't realize he was asking me out on a date until halfway into the date, and didn't even mind when I realized I was on one. I had a good time eating some actual food with a cute guy I liked, and got home a little later than usual. Oddly enough, when I got back, the chicken pieces I'd thrown out the previous night were still there. Normally, the stray dogs in my area would fight for each other for even the smallest scraps of expired food. For 3 whole pieces of fried chicken to survive being devoured by them was a miracle, even if it was KFC chicken. Whatever was in that fried chicken, it must have smelled unpleasant enough to the dog's sensitive noses that even they didn't want to eat. In contrast, the sales back at the KFC skyrocketed over the next few days. So much so that there wouldn't be any chicken left at the end of the day for KFC employees to take home. The people who ate at the KFC changed.
Let's go
They
somewhere
were the
fun.
same regulars who came by
Let's see
from
where
time to
Triple
time
A can
since I
take
started
us.
working with them.
Let's go
But
get
after
stuck
the
in the
chicken
sand.
began tasting strange,
Let's go
they
sneak under
came
the
by
stars.
almost every day.
Let's go for dinner
Started
and a
ordering
show.
buckets full of
No
chicken
kids.
instead of
Let's
the
go stay in a hotel for less.
$5
Okay, let's bring the kids.
Their appearance
But first,
Their
let's get
faces
this
had become
fixed.
pale,
24/7 roadside
filled with
assistance,
bloodshot
triple
eyes,
landing,
and
hotel
twists
discounts,
started
and more.
all
You're
over the
always
place
ready to
as
go.
they waited.
AAA, membership to go.
Red dots dotted their bodies like sore insect bites, which they scratched until their overgrown nails became bloody. It only got worse as time went on. Despite eating copious amounts of chicken almost every day, the regulars became skeleton men with some faces that made them more like walking corpses. On one particularly busy night, we ran out of chicken while the restaurant was full of sick-looking regulars. One of the regulars came up to the cashier I was speaking to at the time. "One chicken bucket meal, please." "I'm sorry, sir, but we're out of chicken for the night." At that, the man's bloodshot eyes widened in surprise and his lips curled into an angry snarl. "You're out of chicken? Out of chicken? We'll be restocked tomorrow, sir, please. You can't do this to us. Get me out. I need it now." The man's shouting started gaining the attention of the other regulars. But instead of being annoyed, they seemed to be just as concerned as he was about the lack of chicken. The ones who were still eating held their buckets of chicken close, while those who were nearly finished with theirs eyed them with hungry eyes. The next few minutes went by in a flash. The regular who'd been talking to saw a woman with a nearly full bucket of chicken and lunged at it to grab a chunk. The moment his hand got near the bucket, the woman grabbed him by the wrist and chopped down on his fingers with an unnatural force that severed him clean at the joint. There was a scream from the man, followed by several more from the other customers as they scratched and bit at one another like wild dogs who steal each other's chicken. I retreated back to the kitchen with the other employees and we all our manager told us that he'll go outside to wait for us to be there and left the restaurant to be fast. When the police finally came, the entire place was
You need to calm down.
Customers fighting each other over the fried chicken.
Umbrella Semi, the story of what happened.
The police had to chase the ones still standing to the restaurant. So many of them had to sprint away to the
Semi.
When I asked the police where the manager who went outside to wait for them was, they looked at me in confusion. They didn't see anyone outside.
You need to calm
KFC was
down.
closed for the next few days for a police investigation. Jerry and I both told the police about how the customers started acting strange ever since the chicken restaurant. When they analyzed the spice mix we've been using for the chicken, it tested positive for a highly addictive very drug. The same kind that was found in the system of every customer who was arrested the night all hell broke loose. Police theorized that the manager must have been putting addictive drugs in the chicken in an attempt to boost sales. It worked,
You need to calm
but at
down.
the cost of the customer's physical and mental health. And when he
Calm
realized
down. Why
that he was
now?
going
You
to
need
be
to
caught,
calm down.
he ran away and never looked back like the greedy coward he was. I live with the guilt of accidentally destroying the lives of all those people every day. Jerry assures me that none of us could have known. But if he knows, that's a lie as well as I do. Had we cared more about our job, we could have saved a lot of people from the life of addiction they are now driving.
Ready to unlock Roadline's additional gift cards?
I'm gonna burn my food up.
Start earning with Microsoft Rewards today.
I'm only playing this for 1 minute.
I have decided against giving my day, as it is in my best interest. And also because I am a full-grown comic.
I'll be going to try.
So my alias in this story is known as Joe. This incident happened over 5 years ago, and I have held on to it throughout all these years. But no matter how much I try, I just can't sleep right. And maybe, just maybe, telling this will remove the huge weight that weighing down on my conscience all these years. I worked at KFC over close. I used to love the place. The smell of the chicken, the chatting customers. Basically, everything
still your
about that
best friend.
restaurant made me happy. If I remember correctly, it was on a Thursday.
Mom
and I
gonna
had
be
left
mad at
home
me.
When I went there,
Mom gonna be mad at me for burning my food.
I remember the manager at the time telling me, remember, being manager comes with a lot of new responsibilities, and I hope you will be able to handle it the way I have all these years. I remember telling you, I am fully sure I am able to, and I know I will.
Take my chips up.
Then we tried to smoke up home. During my last week as a foreman, I was given the night shift. There was a lovely chubby kid called Kenny who always used to come to the restaurant. He would stay there all day till late at night. And since he was a regular customer, I befriended him. I later found out that the reason why he was always at the restaurant was
Scared to open the door.
he was going home. I remember he told me, my mom and dad are always fighting. They really don't care about me.
Nuts and
So
stuff. It's
anytime
gonna
they
help you
give
a
me
little
money
bit.
to eat, I always come here so that I don't have to see them fight.
The game.
I took a liking to the kid because I sympathized with him.
I think he's talking
So
about the
after my
zombies.
shift, I would always keep him company.
I'm talking about the game.
Sometimes I would sit with him as he ate.
Talk about the
One
game.
particular thing I remember about
You the game.
was that he was always vigorously licking fingers after eating. I would always chuckle about it because he always reminded me of the KFC slogan. It's finger licking. So anytime I served him, I always said, it's so good. The next day during my second night,
You're not funny, bro. You don't start talking up. You're right.
I couldn't see his face, but he had a bad aura and it made me admire him. He walked up
I'm talking about the game. That's what I'm saying.
I remember walking up to the table to serve his drink and food. Simply enough, I was confused, but I said, yeah, man, I guess so. He then replied, you sure these are finger-licking good ones? I don't need any other ones
Like
but
Xbox 360 and
I was creeped out now, but I said with a forced smile,
Something about the way the camera.
yeah, they sure are. noise and silently
It's okay. I understand.
I went back to the counter.
I'm talking about the game, though.
Shaking up. After a while, the man finished his bill and he left, leaving only me and Timmy in the restaurant. I don't know why, but I heaved a sigh of relief as the environment was. The next night was basically the same thing. As the man came in, he ordered the same thing.
Y'all remember Nikolai?
And the night after,
Who the hell is Nikolai?
Who
the hell is
Nothing
Nikolai?
changed until the last night of that week. I was going to be the manager the next
The
day,
rescue
so it was
citizens,
my last day
there's
as
no
a
time for
lone
that.
wolf.
City
I wasn't
Hall
really
is a
doing
mess.
anything,
Trying
so
to
I went out
find
for a minute to throw off the trash. And when I came back, I couldn't see anyone. Neither
City
Timmy
Hall is
nor the man
crawling.
was
That is crazy.
I was sure no one left.
I'm eating
as I
a
didn't
meal.
see anyone leave the front door.
I'm eating food and reacting to something. It's
That's when I began to hear sounds.
reacting to something. I'm eating something. I'm gonna get home. Took a bath.
As I finally reached the kitchen, I saw the
We took a bath tonight. We took a bath
What
once.
was he doing? I remember asking, what are you doing here? Where's the cook? The hooded man then replied,
City Hall has been locked down. Access the security room and override it.
Nikolai's that guy.
I remember being shocked for a minute as he said it off counter, as if he was sure what he was
Nikolai's that
saying.
guy.
I then quickly said, I'm sorry, man, but you don't work here. Customers aren't allowed back here, so you have to leave. The hooded man just ignored me. I was perplexed and didn't know what to do. I contemplated forcefully dragging him out of the kitchen, but seeing as he was a huge, unpredictable man, I decided not to. As I was deep in thought, I noticed him bring out a jar from his pocket and begin to slowly add what I assumed to be fries dipped in ketchup to the deep fryer. I couldn't make them out at first glance, but with a closer look, I realized that he was slowly dropping bloody human fingers into the fryer. It took me a moment to process what I was saying as I slowly began to back away and call him. And that's when I tripped on something. I quickly looked at what had tripped me, and lying across the floor was young Timmy's corpse. His hands had been mutilated, as all his fingers had been cut off. I began to scream as the sight of the child I had befriended on the floor shook me to my core. Within seconds, my manager immediately rushed in. I didn't know he was still around, and I began to say, "Thank God you're here. Please, get help. This man killed this child." And that's when my manager put his hands to his lips and told me to keep quiet. "Shh. You don't want to alert anyone, now do you, Noah?" He said. He then calmly walked to the hooded man and said, "Mr. Cornelius here is just our night chef." That's when the man removed his hoodie, and I saw his face. He had scarring all over as he looked like a messed up butcher. He was just doing I was speechless and confused at the same time, but I remember stuttering out. That's when my manager replied to me with, "Gosh, no. You see, Noah, the way fine wine adds a divine taste to dishes is the same way seasoned human fingers add to the taste of chicken." I was still frozen in place and confused.
Manager, are you
He
crazy?
then continued with, "It's simple.
Is my manager
That
crazy?
finger looking good taste. We need good seasoned human fingers. As it changes,
So let me get this straight. That's what I call a finger looking good because I put fingers in chicken? No, that's right.
There's monitors, cameras.
believe me, you won't understand till you try the fresh one from the pack. Because it then offered me a window. I was still frozen, contemplating whether to spring and run, and that's when my manager said, I was confused, and I had to choose. And remember, you were the one who said you were ready.
I'm about to cut my
I don't
manager
know
out.
why, but there was this sick voice at the
I'm
back
gonna
of
cut my
head
manager out.
that told me to do it. Maybe it was my selfish human want, as I really wanted to be manager. I had subconsciously waited so
I'm
long,
gonna cut my manager out.
and then one little mess up secret was right to get what I wanted. So be it. So I did. I remember taking swings, and I realized that every little thing as it had a beautiful sweet taste to it. Something I hadn't tasted before. I went on to be the manager of that branch for 5 years. And then at that time, I ignored all the missing people posters that were popping up
want it.